Hello, I'm Chylli from channel Chylli, also known as Try, and we are back with more Depersonalization. I already preloaded the game, so it should load fairly quickly now. I just loaded into my save and then I quit out to the menu, so it should all already be loaded. Yeah, see, that wasn't very long at all. According to the coordinates, this must be the target. You notice a warning post with a cautionary message painted on it: public fiber optic cable, unauthorized excavation prohibited. Hope the government doesn't come knocking for compensation after this mess. Despite the warning, you start digging into the ground, eventually exposing the underground fiber optic cables. Among the cables, you spot several distinct silver threads sticking out prominently. You sever the threads with fire. Depleted of energy, the silver threads soon fade to gray. As the threads snap, a spider-like hiss echoes. As expected, this is an ambush. Swiftly turning around, you find nothing there. At that moment, the sky darkens abruptly. Two arachnids leap down from the rooftop, looming before you. And there we go, that was fairly easily as well. The sound of the arachnid's footsteps sends a chill down your spine. Not far from your position, a familiar figure is encircled by the arachnids. Is that Adolf? Did these arachnids bring him here? Oh hey, that's something that's not translated yet. The arachnids on guard immediately discover you, emitting low growls as they lunge toward you. Well, that was unfortunate. Defeated, the arachnids scatter into parade. Adolf is left on the spot. Although Adolf appears slightly wounded, he seems unperturbed by it. Noticing you, he offers a polite nod, a faint smile playing on his lips. What an auspicious decision you made. Not the most prudent choice, but undeniably typical of your flair. Despite some injuries, Adolf maintains his nonchalant demeanor. Yet in this moment, the glance he directs at you conveys less banter and more resignation. It appears that I still retain a modicum of significance in your eyes, or is it merely a product of my own conjecture? That's what Bruno would do. Bruno is indeed fortunate to count you as a friend. The crossroads shall not diverge from your shared path. Perhaps both of you are in perpetual chase of each other's shadow. Those arachnids didn't mess with you, did they? No, not yet at least. However, dare I say, had your timely intervention not occurred, the unfolding events might have taken a divergent trajectory. Why did they bring you here? I must confess I'm not entirely certain, but... After a brief pause, Adolf recounts recent events to you. A while ago, inside the church cellar. Well, well, behold the esteemed Father Constantine in the flesh. Greetings, Mr. Shore. I've been desiring an audience with you, yet the opportunity has not presented itself. Please accept my apologies for my rough method. You are far too gracious in your assessments. I am but a mere minnow in comparison to your towering presence. Akin to a timorous mouse lurking within the shadows. It is my own folly that has led me to this plight. Despite being a puppet, you've managed to survive so far. Your determination is really impressive. I trust you comprehend the grand vision of our endeavor. We need the Omnivision system. With it, we shall liberate more humans from the confines of reality. The confines of reality, you say? Undoubtedly, there is a kernel of truth in that. Nevertheless, I shall not be swayed by such levels of persuasion, dear father. We have yet to fathom the depths of true captivity. A soul does not wander because it is unshackled, but because it strives to find its way back to its rightful abode. Alas, this sentiment may forever elude your comprehension. Constantine remains composed as he marks the cross on his chest. In this case, I shall not insist. Then Constantine abruptly stops and turns to Adolf. Let us postpone our collaboration proposal for now. Still, there's a matter I believe merits reconsideration. You alluded to a soul in search of its true home. If this soul is not in captivity, it should not perceive its confinement as its homeland. She is our benevolent Lord destined to deliver us from tribulations. Take her presence and you shall discover her. Approach her threshold and it shall yield to you. So this is probably a church dedicated to Awak, I assume. Seems like Constantine doesn't want you to mess with his plan. The truth is, messing with this plan exceeds my current capabilities. Remaining here poses a risk. Would you mind escorting me back to my mansion? We can delve into the intricacies within the confines of my abode. Alright. You support the weary Adolf and guide him out of the cellar. Within these walls, safety finds its eternal abode. My heartfelt gratitude for returning to the sanctum once more. A deluge of queries must besiege your thoughts, dear friend. Feel free to inquire, for you're deserving of this well-earned respite. A distinguished black credit card is placed beside a bottle of vintage wine. What do you know about Padrich? My knowledge, though vast, remains incomplete. While I possess a trove of insights regarding his essence, the precise coordinates of his whereabouts elude me still. Thus, I prefer unto these cryptic hints. Padrich inhabits a realm so unique that it defies all known realities. It is impervious to the prying gaze of the omnivisions of some. This ethereal abode lacks earthly coordinates, rendering its exploration an exercise in futility. Perhaps only deities may traverse its hallowed grounds, yet a glimmer of hope beckons. Venture to the terminus of Cursenday, and there Padrich shall cross your path. I am privy to his machinations with Constantine. Yet alas, my powers stand insignificant to thwart their designs. It falls upon you to first halt Constantine's course, lest Cursenday succumb to its inevitable fall. I agree with the last part. Got anything else on your mind? No, consider this a forewarning. Acquainted as I am with Ben's character, I deem it wise to cloak today's events in secrecy. Let us not cloud the Alpha Wolf's prudence in the eve of the grand hunt. Constantine called you a puppet. What does that mean? Regarding this matter, what an unforeseen turn of events. Who could have fathomed an interest in a humble sewer rat? Very well, I see no reason to veil the secret any longer. If all mortals languish in the throes of this prosaic realm, then I have transcended its mundane constraints. Wealth, renown, power, all lay within my grasp, yet failed to bestow a modicum of contentment. For my very essence remains ensnared in the spectral realm. The omnivision realm. It oft turns its head sideways to the blinking omnivision system. In yesteryears, a chapter of my experience unfurled as a gambler beckoned to the illustrious quarters of Cursenday. Enlisted by the gangs, I became a pivotal player in a game that would determine the dominance among the local factions. The victory I achieved in that fateful game was as effortless as a leisurely stroll through a sun-kissed garden. Those gangsters were as guileless as cherubic innocence. Yet my triumph was short-lived, as it meant my tragic end at the hands of those very gangsters aboard a departing train. Adolf smiles in resignation, though the whispers of impending danger brushed against the periphery of my consciousness. An escape route eluded my grasp. No amount of cunning or intellect could bridge the chasm that separated me from the sheer physical mind. Following my demise, I encountered an enigmatic mistress. She extended an invitation to a game of cards. A proposition too enticing to decline. Fortune esteemed had veered against me as I faced a cascade of defeats within the game, a dance that echoed the winds of fate itself. Just as despondency crept upon me, the enchantress uttered words. We're playing the last round for real. Win and I'll grant you a second lease on life. But if you lose, you'll have to give up the thing you hold most dear. Embracing our challenge with the fervor of a true gambler, I accepted her offer. For in the realm of the gambler, to deny defeat is to emerge victorious. Adolf momentarily averts his gaze. Thus, I was granted a return to the realm of the living. Alas, a cunning ploy in the fateful game now ensnares my soul within that very realm. Only through the tendrils of the Omnivision system can I breach this eternal confinement, liberating my existence from its spectral trap. Hence, I implore the aid of both the system and the artisan capable of perfecting it. A tale deemed lackluster, perhaps? Yet upon reflection, had I swayed Simon or deftly wielded Lady Rescon's jewel, I would have transcended the confines of this Omnivision system. Opportunities, dear friend, are fleeting specters. Yet wisdom, I am certain, shall not let them slip by as I did. Adolf slowly caresses the handle of his cane, his eyes fixed on you. A fleeting thought nearly escaped me. In recognition of the challenges you have valiantly weathered, I humbly present this token of appreciation. A can of resilience and grace. May I find in you a kindred spirit as it has in me. Let us cast aside the shadows of discord, for all past grievances are but ripples upon the tranquil waters of time. If that's the case, why not join us? There's room for everything as long as we lift this crisis. A most enticing proposition indeed. Your essence radiates a brilliance that caught my eye from our very first encounter. As I muse upon it further, perchance it falls upon someone like you to steer Cursenday toward an unpredictable destiny. As Adolf speaks, his form gradually becomes transparent. His connection to reality seems to be weakening over time. As the sands of time trickle through the hourglass, I bid you adieu. No, farewell, my cherished friend. Adjusting his cuffs with grace, this gentleman fixes a curious gaze upon you, akin to assessing a newly discovered gem. Do you recall the tale I shared upon our last communion? The one about dinosaurs and rats? Time eluded me during our prior discourse. Dinosaurs and rats, solitary creatures that dwell in their own realms, devoid of the power to reshape the world. Leaving these words, Adolf offers a meaningful smile. He waves his hand as he merges into the Omnivision system. Brass knuckles aren't a him. They count as a melee weapon, right? Alright, well that's another mythical item. Now we have 5 of 13. Oh, I think I know where to go. I think it's probably the bell all the way up here. Okay, never mind, that is not it. Is it maybe the pulpit? Where the hell is this thing we're supposed to be looking for then? Oh, okay, yeah, here we are. Thankfully it's not a high voltage cable. Disregarding the notice, you head through the ground and expose the water pipeline. Beside the pipeline, you spot several distinct silver threads standing out prominently. You sever the threads with fire. Depleted of energy, the silver threads soon fade to gray. You hear a hiss from behind you. Witnessing you burn the threads, 2 arachnids emerge from the shadows and lunge at you. And there we go. Let's head to the flower shop right now. Is this a letter? You open the sealed letter. Thank you, my dear friend. I used to as a police officer in Cursenday. Despite being an officer, I chose not to engage in corruption like many of my colleagues. Though my savings dwindled over time, your help allowed me to finish my last case and resign from the force. I intend to find work elsewhere, perhaps continuing as an officer to fight the financial strain. I'm dedicated to making a positive impact on kind souls like you. These are things I couldn't take with me. Please accept them as a token of gratitude. Best wishes, Rudolph, the former Cursenday police officer. Dirty ammo. Can you help me with customers today? Suggesting movies they might like will do the trick. I'll pay you well as before. Got it. You started sending to customers. Do you have any sci-fi movies here, especially ones with superheroes? Sci-fi movies. This one should be perfect for you. You recommend a movie for her. Intrigued by your recommendation, she rents the videotape and leaves content. Then you assist customers until the flow of customers diminishes. Just as you feel tired, a shady-looking customer walks in. Hey manager, any hot movies in stock? Popular movies? What kind are you interested in? Not popular movies, but hot ones. The type with men and women, and they do something steamy, you know? I've been a loyal customer, so don't try to pull my leg. At his request, the manager appears and guides them to a secluded room, and the customer leaves, satisfied with a well-chosen film. Oh, I didn't realize the store covered that genre. Well, it's a bit awkward to admit, but I used to make most of my income selling not-so-legal movies. After the renovation, I aimed for more legitimate transactions. Still, I don't simply ditch that business. As you may have noticed, relying solely on rentals makes it hard to keep the lights on, but, well, enough of that. Here's your pay for today. And since you're a movie lover, here's a new arrival. Hope you enjoy it. He hands you a new videotape. Thank you, manager. You complete your task at the video store. Alright, let's keep looking around here. The flower shop is closed, everything around seems in disorder. Yeah, that's because I didn't come here to help out the other day because I was busy helping Bruno. We'll come back and do the other path as well in a minute. I say in a minute, but it's probably gonna be a couple more hours knowing this module so far. I met Lex just now, Bruno. You informed Bruno about Ben's confrontation with Constantine at the hospital and his apprehension. I told Lex about our plan. He's on board now, but he needs to question Ben first. Once we find the ritual site, he'll provide the necessary backup. Normally, Ben wouldn't deal with his enemies directly, so I suspect something's gone down within this gang. We're still working with Ben. He's looking for evidence against Padrich. Now that we're on the same page, maybe we can ask for his help. Just as Lux said, now's not the time to stay through all this. If we can get his support, we'll uncover the ritual site sooner. Ben's family is among the earliest residents in Cursenday. Many of those underground tunnels are linked to their family's old business. Sure, I'm off to the police station to have a chat with him. Yeah, I'll give you an update once I found something. Did you catch that, Bruno? Catch what? The bell, it's ringing. I don't hear a thing. Hold on a second. Sandra calls out to you, her expression tense with worry as she speaks. I've got a terrible feeling about this. The bell tower, something is wrong there. What's happening? I can't quite explain it, but the bell sounds like some kind of alarm. Be cautious, no matter what you do. Yeah, I will. Okay, that was really weird. Her, sprite was gone. Back to the church we go. The metallic contraption in front of you is emitting an ethereal blue glow. Curiously, you reach out to touch it, but as soon as your fingers make contact with the glowing surface, a sharp chill surges through you, quickly coating your skin in frost. You draw your hand back, but the damage is already done. Frostbite is starting to creep across your fingers. That was a close call. As you withdraw your hand, the numbness slowly dissipates. Feeling the return of warmth, contemplation naturally ensues. The frosty aura from the device only affects things within a certain radius. Once the affected item is taken out of the zone, its influence ceases. That's how it works. Driven by your keen curiosity, you pick up a bottle nearby, then toss it at the device. As the bottle approaches the core of the device, it miraculously halts midair. As I suspected, this device can manipulate molecular movement. At its core, time itself appears to freeze. If I can keep a safe distance, I might be able to disassemble it. You move cautiously toward the device, trying to gauge a safe distance, but as you draw near the azure glow, time itself starts to freeze. Your sense of time warps, a wave of dizziness and nausea washing over you, disorienting your every thought. Lost in the surreal void for what feels like eternity, you become convinced that eons have passed. Finally, you manage to take out the device free. Suddenly, a violent tremor shakes the bell tower, followed by the unsettling sound of twisting metal groaning from below. With a deafening metallic screech, the tower comes to an abrupt stop. In this moment, the soft glow of the blue cube begins to dim as the temporal stasis it created starts to unravel. This is the perfect chance. You try to dismantle the metal bracket and remove the blue cube, but suddenly the cube erupts in a burst of strange light. Within the glow, a piercing gaze locks on you. You feel the presence of malevolent forces, their murderous intent closing in. Keep at it, it's almost there. After a struggle, you successfully remove the cube, yet the hostile entities have appeared beside you. Oh, it's these guys again. And there we go, we killed all three of them. You managed to repel the three hounds and they immediately vanished into a time rift. What a bunch of tricky foes. Okay, so it basically gives me a second attack every battle. A plain metal structure with a blue cube at its middle. This energy renders the particles nearby inert and subsequently slows down the time. Should its inhibiting effects be cancelled, however, the static temporal energy will result in a rushing torrent of time. Alright, now we're gonna head over to the police station to negotiate with Ben. You see Lux standing in the doorway of the interrogation room, his brow furrowed as he rubs his forehead. It appears he had just experienced something unpleasant. Things didn't go well, I suppose. No, things were a mess. Ben was uncooperative and even threatened our families. I told everything about Padrich and the ritual, but he's unmoved by my words. At this rate, we won't make it in time. Or perhaps you could give it a shot? Need help convincing him? The feud between the cops and the gangs have been ongoing. It's a complex issue to untangle. No matter what we say or do, Ben just shrugs it off. But you're not a police officer, and Ben doesn't hold a grudge against you. Plus, he respects those who value friendship. Perhaps you could try reasoning with him. You recall a similar conversation with Ben when he approached you for cooperation. I can't guarantee success, but I'll give it a shot anyway. Ben remains seated in silence. Upon your entrance, a brief flicker of surprise crosses his face before he resumes his usual air of indifference. The gang's leader now fixes you with a penetrating gaze, a hint of contemplation in his eyes. I lost track of you for a while, and I thought you were done for, but you seem to be doing alright. I wonder if our cooperation's so huge. Despite Ben being handcuffed at the table, you can't shake the feeling that it is you who is under interrogation. Absolutely, I figured out Padrich's scheme. He and Constantine are planning a nefarious ritual that could devastate all of Cursenday. And we need your help, Ben. The ritual site is located in a maze of underground passages. Problem is, we're running out of time to search each one. You're echoing what Lux said. Listen, even if what you're telling me is true, I'll never trust those cops. They just want us to take the risk to be the one in danger first, and once we've braved all the traps and suffered losses, they'll swoop in for the credit. And me, the cops in Cursenday are no better than us. They have a badge that lets them abduct and murder legally. They're out for themselves, but we're out for our family. I get it, you need some kind of guarantee. You want to make sure your family stays safe through all this. Good, I'm glad I'm not wasting my breath. Like I said, I need the respect for my family. At this moment, Lux walks into the interrogation room, evidently having overheard your conversation. In some ways, you're right. Whether it's cops or mobs, everyone has their own way of protecting Cursenday. Left releases Ben from his handcuffs. Listen up, Ben. I'll set you and your crew free with no strings attached. Once this is all over, I'll take the plane and head to prison. By then, chaos will hit the police station, and you'll get the time you need to do your stuff. So what do you say, deal? Believe it or not, all I want now is a safe Cursenday. I hope you'll make the right decision. Fine, I'll track down Constantine and deal with him my own way. Thank you, Ben. I don't need that nonsense. Turns out I'm not sure if he'll actually come to our aid in the end. From what I know about him, he's more keen on finding Constantine and Padrich than you are. By the way, Lux, are you really okay with this? Well, I don't have a choice. Saving Cursenday is all that matters. I'll assemble a team right away. If you need assistance, I'll have it ready. Good luck to you. Thanks, same to you. Oh boy, my throat kinda hurts from talking so much. Okay, all that's left now is the hotel. I'm assuming it's not up here because nothing is ever up here anyway. Apologies, I had to cough for a minute there. You examine the snowman. It is skillfully crafted, adorned with a carrot nose, stone eyes, a meticulously crafted hat, scarf, and even arm covered with a tree branch. The snow on the snowman's neck appears slightly different. Could that be... Despite potential plans for destroying someone else's artwork, you decided to take apart the snowman nonetheless. As the snowman dispenses, a warning post is revealed before you. Those snowman creators can really be innovative with their work. This must be the ritual node. As you carefully dig around the soil, several cables are revealed to you. Among the cables you spot several distinct silver threads standing out prominently. Your cell phone vibrates as the call from Sandra. Upon answering the call, you hear Bruno's eager voice. We've located the ritual site. It's hidden right under the winery. But the problem is, we don't have a map of the underground tunnel, so for now we'll have to search inch by inch. I'll get in touch with Lux for some help later on. Sure, I just handled all the ritual notes. I'm heading to the winery now. Just be careful. Sandra checked the memories within the gem once again and discovered something. Paradise Hotel actually has a full shelter system, but for some reason it's never been used. Sandra believes it can withstand Constantine's ritual. Now I'm setting up an evacuation to the hotel. If you can't find the ritual site at the winery, head straight for the hotel. No worries, I'll stay safe. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna save the game. Please inform your family members and relatives. Seek shelter at Paradise Hotel promptly. By now, the hotel is filled with townsfolk seeking refuge. Some discuss impending doom, others contemplate humanity's fate, while a few plead for help. Maybe we're looking in the wrong place. No way. I specifically contacted my classmate who's at a TA at Mr. Atonic University. This is exactly where that incident occurred over a decade ago. Darn it, if not for the cursed snow, we might have had a breakthrough. You don't actually believe that Migo is an alien, do you? Why not? There's a ton of evidence suggesting they're not from Earth. Or are you buying into the idea that they're God's messengers like those lunatics do? How could they not be? Have you not seen the murals depicting her? She is viewed as an angel by those believers. And in my eyes as well. What we're witnessing is a sign of humanity's impending fate. So you've gone nuts too. Two vagabonds are devouring pastries. It's been forever since I've had cake. Now with a fireplace, a cozy couch, and cake, it feels like we've time traveled back. If only we could stay here forever. Don't overdo it with the cake, or you won't fit through the chute. Dude, what chute? I've checked out the boiler in the lower basement. I used to work as a boiler man, and that place hardly sees any visitors. Come with me, we'll sneak in through the laundry chute. Do you hear what that attendant mentioned? The kitchen is near the boiler room. If we're careful enough, we could stay hidden for a while. Hold on, so this means we gotta have cake every day? At least we'll tough it out through the winter. It's so unnerving. This is the first time I've seen so many people in a hotel. Don't worry, just follow the evacuation protocol. If anyone causes trouble, isolate them. And don't forget to restock on desserts when they run out. Restock? With the cap says they've run out of desserts for the restaurant. Desserts can really boost their morale. If the chef has any complaints, he can save them for after the snowstorm passes. Yeah, sure, I'll fetch more. What a hassle, being stuck in this cursed place in the dead of winter. But wasn't that man talking about a terrible snowstorm on the way? Probably just a lie. Remember the tale we read? What happened to the boy who kept crying wolf? I know, but if what he said was true, what would happen to us then? What are you figuring? I'm trying to calculate how much insurance money we'll receive after the disaster. If we multiply our annual premium by the compensation multiplier, if the snowstorm wrecks the roof, we should have enough to cover the repairs. I might even get a new car and you can finally have that new lawn. If half our house goes, we could recoup most of our previous losses from failed investments. And if it takes out the whole neighborhood... This is why I always stress the importance of insurance. It's finally paying off after all these years of foresight. We should get enough money to make up for our not-so-wise investment in the winery. Why do you look so down? Didn't you hear me? We're about to hit the jackpot again. Why is the hotel suddenly packed with so many people? I can hear the racket all the way from my room. What's going on with the management here? I'm sorry, esteemed guests. The hotel is currently serving as a shelter for locals during the snowstorm. It's a rule set by the mayor when the hotel was established. In times of crisis, Spirit Air Hotel must provide shelter to the townsfolk at no charge. A snowstorm, but why wasn't I informed of this earlier? Actually, we just received the alert not too long ago. If I had known this was going to happen, I would have left this hellhole. I'm sorry, but I need to have the defensive word now. I won't be able to join you in your investigation. However, I just discovered some hidden knowledge from the gym. One of those spells might assist you in your investigation. That would be helpful. Please, stay safe. If you encounter any trouble you can't handle, you're always welcome to seek refuge here. I see you've made your decision. Let's get started, Sandra. Sandra explains with a serious expression, I'm about to activate the defensive ward. Once it's activated, nothing can enter the space and nobody can leave this realm. I'll need to stay here to keep it running. By the way, maintaining the ward requires a huge amount of mana. When I run low, I'll have to draw from everyone inside. They might feel sick, dizzy, or even see strange things. It's normal. Because this ward turns physical impacts into mental strain. She turns to Bruno and continues, Bruno, you've been disconnected from reality for a while. You're the only one who can endure the external impacts. Don't worry, Sandra. I'll keep everyone safe here. Sandra tosses the scarlet gem into the pond. The floor illuminates as the gem sinks. The defensive ward is activated, casting a soft glow over the area. After a while, you glance outside, seeing the sky tinged with a crimson hue. Ash drifts down like snowflakes. Suddenly the jarring clanging of bells fills the air. Suddenly a blinding violet light floods the room through the window. In that instant, you, along with everyone else, lose all sense of hearing. It feels as though the world is transformed into an immense vacuum. Intense, suffocating heat seeps in through the cracks in the door. The people around you are frozen in fear, exchanging frantic, panicked glances. The bustling sounds of life, or even time itself, seem consumed by the flames. You can't quite recall how you stumbled to the gate or how you managed to open it with trembling hands. Beyond the door, an endless sea of crimson stretches out where earth and sky seem to merge. The sight overwhelms you, invoking the moment when your ancestor first witnessed fire. In the distance, those who chose not to seek refuge in the hotel are frozen in place, their bodies gradually consumed by the flames. Hair, skin, organ, bones, even their very essence, perhaps their souls, are devoured by the inferno. You stand there hopeless, watching as Cursenday is slowly consumed by the fire. It is restored only to be reduced to ashes once more. Cursenday, once a bustling haven, now lies in ruins and ashes, with the Paradise Hotel standing as a lone vestige. Many survivors, overwhelmed by loss and destruction, depart in search of a new beginning. Yet a steadfast faction remains, resolute in rebuilding their shattered community. Over time, Cursenday transforms into a forgotten town, a haven of peace for the stalwart few, preserving a hint of its former daily life. Through Sandra's updates, you stay informed about Bruno's well-being. Scarred by the calamity, Bruno develops an enduring dread of fire, a haunting trauma of the ordeal. And amid his fear, Sandra relocates to a southern region where rain abounds. She shares that she and Bruno have established a modest shop in a new town, aspiring to cultivate a new life of peace and serenity alongside Bruno. And there we go, that's our second ending we got. Wait for the game to load again. And there we go. That is where I'm going to leave it off for this episode of Depersonalization. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time when we continue with more. Until then, bye!